Good morning, family. Good morning, story time. We're going to start this morning. First of all, I want to apologize because I am definitely working with the cold for the last week, so I might be a little raspy, and I don't want to try not to sniff, but I am working with a little sniffle cold, but all is good. So we're going to start off this morning with some motivation. It doesn't matter how long it's been or how impossible it looks. All the forces of darkness cannot stop what God wants to do. Romans 8:31 says, "What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?" You never know how strong you are until you have to be. So remember, stay strong, stay focused, and keep it going. So today, I just want to thank you for listening to Story Time with your host, Miss V, on IntellectualRadio.com. And I have a special guest here today with me, Miss Jada James. She's going to talk to us later on and tell us about her amazing story, overcoming obstacles, which is awesome. We got to learn a lot from that because we definitely got a lot of obstacles that we have to overcome over the past our lifespan. So we're going to get more into that. And she's definitely going to be part of Coffee and Conversation. So you also know that we have added a new segment to it called Entrepreneur Tips for the Morning. So the entrepreneur tip for today is being successful often means learning from those who have already achieved their goals. Having a mentor is a blessing to an entrepreneur, but everyone does not have one. Here are some tips that can help you, even if you don't have anyone to help you as you take your journey. Challenge yourself every day. You should have a new goal. Set a goal for yourself. What do you want to do to make your dream come true? What do you want to do? Focus on what your mission is. Do the work you care about. Don't start a career or entrepreneur dream off of what you seen somebody else do, because that's not your dream. That's not your vision. Take risk. You got to take a risk in order to be an entrepreneur. If you don't take a risk, you can't be an entrepreneur, because that's part of being an entrepreneur is the risk taking. I'm one of the ones, I take a lot of risks. If I feel I can make a job out of it, I'm gonna take that risk. So believe it or not, I've had a number of business that I've tried. Some of them I just closed down because it either was too much work or I passed it on to my child, one of my children, and they decided they didn't want it, or I sold it to somebody. So being an entrepreneur is also about taking risk. And is it going to be easy? No, it's hard in the beginning. It's like having a kid. You got to birth it, and then you got to walk with it and talk with it and do all that it has to take to make that dream come true. And the number one thing, you have to believe in yourself and believe in your vision. If you don't believe in it, nobody else going to believe in it. A lot of people feel that, oh, I didn't get the numbers or get the things that I wanted. So they don't believe in their dreams and they don't go forth in it, and then they give up. Don't give up. Just believe in yourself and keep your own vision. And the number one thing I've learned over the years, keep your business and your dreams to yourself until you are ready to bring it forth. And if it's not done, do not bring it forth, because people will talk about your vision, make it sound bad, tell you don't do it, you shouldn't do it, it's not worth doing it. It's just, don't listen. Don't even put it out there yet. So keep your vision to yourself until it's time for you to birth that thing. So those were your entrepreneur tips for today. Again, we want to thank our Miss Jada James, author Jada James. We have to use that. We don't use author when we know we are authors. We are definitely authors here. So we're going to start today off with our coffee and conversation. And today's coffee and conversation, I didn't really dig deep or do a lot of homework in this one. This one is a kind of easy one. It was easy because this weekend, we all know, is Mother's Day. So today, first of all, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers that's out there. We do an awesome job as mother, even when we don't feel like we do an awesome job. We do an awesome job because we are awesome. So today we're going to talk about mothers. And we just want to thank you, Miss Jada, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. So you're a mother.
I am a mother of
so
three.
What are some of your I mean, some of the, I guess, the good, the bad, and the ugly coming with the mother.
Ooh.
We have had it because you have an 18-year-old, or no, you was married for 18 years.
I have been married for 18 years, but yes, my oldest son is 21.
Oh, he grown.
Yes, he's grown and he's still in college. So of course we're still taking care of him. But so I have a 21-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, and I have a 12-year-old. So I have middle school, high school, and college.
Wow.
Yes. And there are definitely challenges, but I have to say it's been absolutely amazing watching my children grow up and grow into the adults I believe that they're going to be. Of course, with the 21-year-old, a little responsibility is starting to kick in. So he's like, Mom, how do I do this adult thing? Like, how do I handle this? So we are really definitely pushing him out of the nest, encouraging him to start making decisions and communicating with people properly so he can get the results that he desires. And so, just cultivating our children to be adults in society.
So you have 2 boys and a girl.
Yes, the 2 oldest are boys.
And the baby girl.
Yeah.
So, and you can tell the difference between a boy and a girl growing.
Absolutely.
Because I have a girl and a boy, but my oldest, she'll kill me if I tell you, but she's in her 30s. And my son he's 29.
Okay.
So I have adults.
Okay.
I don't have kids. And I am a grandmother of 3.
Okay.
So, watching them grow up, it definitely was a challenge. I remember my son when he tried out. He never was a sports because I always kept him like a preppy kid.
Okay.
So he tried out. He said, I'm gonna try out for football, Mom. I said, okay. I was like, yeah, go for football. So I was like, one day I said, don't you have like football practice? He was like, no. I was like, why not? He's like, I quit. They hit me. I was like, how you quit? I was like, that's part of football. They're supposed to tackle you. He's like, no, I can't do that. So he never really did a lot of sports. He liked to dress. He was a dressy type of kid. So he wasn't. My daughter was more so like whatever. She was in ROTC. Okay. So I do believe that having those 2 as a mother, it has been challenging. And then even watching them raise their children, as mother, watching her raise her daughter as a mother. She lost her husband maybe 2 years ago. Okay. So she's had to take the role of now a widow and a single mom. Okay. So she's trying to figure out, like today she was telling me that how my granddaughter is very outspoken. Like whatever's in her heart and in her mouth, in her mind is coming out her mouth. Okay. So she doesn't mean any harm about it. She just speaks out. And I look back at kids and as we grew up and as mothers, how we had to train them and bring them up. And my daughter was like, well, now she's 7. And then her niece started her adulthood yesterday. So now my daughter is like freaking out, like, wow, she calls me, does that mean she's going to start early? What does that mean? I'm like, calm down, whatever it takes as a mother. Oh my goodness. It seems like as a mother, we can grow, we can pick it up and we can fold it, we can fix it, we can do 3 things and at the same time, and not taking nothing from the dads. I just think when it comes to the mother and the love, because God said that we are receivers and we know we have that nurturing and that whole motherly thing. So being a mother, I could say has been very challenging on my end because especially when they were raised in church. My kids were raised in church, kind of like we went to church on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and this was their life. And I remember my daughter growing up, she was like, Mom, they called me a little church girl. I was like, so? So what? You're a church girl. But I mean, just trying to balance those 2 and tell them that, okay, it's okay to be a church girl. But when you got the world saying, no, it's not good, you got to fight. We had our challenges throughout the teenage years, but I thank God because I look back at them now and say, Lord, I thank you for the strength that you have gave me to raise them. No, our children are not going to be everything we want them to be, but let's pray and thank God that they are not what they could be.
The biggest thing for me has been, because my mom is still here with me, and that's probably been the most interesting aspect of being a mother, in that now totally understand my mother, and some of the things that she would say to me and the way she would discipline me and correct me. And so now I finally get it. I'm like, oh, that's why she did it that way, or that's why she wouldn't let me go there, or, because there's this protection and this like overwhelming love that children don't understand that comes from mothers. And so sometimes it's not until you're an adult, you reach adulthood, or you become a mother yourself or a parent yourself, that you realize that that's where that protection and sometimes that discipline was coming from, just pure love. Like,
I just thought my mom was mean.
That's what we think.
I just thought she was mean because I grew up, well, I ain't gonna tell my age, but I grew up back then. And at that time when I grew up, they had house parties.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and my dad was so strict. I'd be like, well, what's the name having a house party? And I want to go. No.
Plain and simple.
Explain to me how you give a person a car and tell them they got a curfew on a car that you gave them, but you gave me the car. Mm-hmm. How do I have a curfew on a car that you said, this is your gift, this is yours, but I had to bring it back at 10 o'clock? Mm-hmm. And, you can go wherever you go, but bring that car back at 10. That's not my car. My car is going wherever I go, it goes. So I always thought my mom, I still was kind of, I think, rough on me. I mean, maybe because I was the oldest. Maybe. And I used to be a trouble child. I ain't gonna lie. I used to fight men, boys. I didn't care. I was a fighter. Okay. So I can say a little of that was just I was a rough kid. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a tomboy. I was a girly, but I didn't mind. I always went against the grain. Okay. I was one that said, she say no, I'm going to test the waters just to see how far I can go. Okay. Just because you said no, I'm just going to see. And then but sometimes I'll be like, I just didn't get the logic of why you telling me no. And I needed the logic of why you told me no, or why I can't, or that whole street light thing. I didn't understand that until I came a mother and I started telling my kids, don't let the street light catch you. Or I start hearing, be on the porch at a certain time. You can go anywhere around here, but don't leave this porch. Mm-hmm. Well, why am I even outside if I can't leave the porch? Yes. Like, it did not make, I guess growing up then, it didn't make sense until I became a mother. Absolutely. And I started implementing them same rules, like, you can't go outside at this time of day, or you got to come in at a certain time.
And it's funny, Miss B, because you'll swear that you won't do that. You'll swear that, you'll swear, I'm not going to do my kids like that. I'm not going to be like that. And it just comes out. And that's why I say it's from a very pure and genuine place, because you're not trying to be mean to your children.
My daughter said I was mean.
But you weren't trying to be. That wasn't how you set out to be a parent. You know what I mean? No, I don't believe any parent sets out saying, let me be mean to my kid. Let me, but it's just that it's us trying to protect them as much as we can for as long as we can, because we know at some point we have to let them go.
That's true, because my daughter thought I was mean because I had, as my kids grew up, I learned like, okay, like you said, I'm not going to treat my kids like this. I'm not going to do this. Mm-hmm. But I seem to, and then I had end up, getting married. And then we set rules where we didn't allow my kids to watch certain videos. They couldn't. At a certain time, they had a bedtime, 9 o'clock, everything was shut down. Mm-hmm. It was like rules was really implemented. And I think it was for their growth and for them back then it was only, I think VH1 and BET. Well, it wasn't as bad as it is right now. Yeah. It wasn't like Carly B, because I think that girl is over abundance, but people allow their kids to watch it. Mm-hmm. Me, if you were my child, the first day I heard you listen to Carly B, you would have been shut down. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have no phone. My son, I remember my son would get on punishment so much. That brother would get on punishment so much. I would take a game away. Uh-huh. I would take his phone, anything that he had, because they had their own rooms. We would just like clean it out. Mm-hmm. And that brother still found ways to get the things that I took from him. How did you find that? Yes. And then as they grew up, they would tell me, Mom, when y'all would leave, we would still watch TV. How? We hid the remotes. Well, we found those. Well, we would go outside when you would leave. How? And I guess that goes back as my mother, your
Mhm.
mother, and everybody else's mother, how we will find ways to do the
Yeah, you
opposite
have
of
to
what
get
you
around. Yeah,
told.
you have to get
Girl,
around that.
I didn't clammed out windows.
See?
I didn't snuck in the back. I remember one time my sister and her we had basement. My mom had a room down there. My sister stuck her boyfriend in and out the basement door. I mean, and it's in my mom, it's only 3 girls.
Oh, okay.
So it was just like we would just do whatever we felt we can. And we would just feel like, and why the dads don't get beat down like that? The mothers seem like we just get the brunt of.
Because I think we do more. We dads kind of know, especially like, my husband with our 2 sons. He's very lenient with them. And I'm like, But with my daughter, he's like, oh, she can stay at home for as long as she wants. She don't have to go off to another state to college. She can just, and I'm like, what do you mean?
And they quick to run to dad. You know what I'm saying? It's like me, I'd be like, okay, I know the trick. What time my mom go to work?
So, dad is sometimes the more laid back parent. Mom is sometimes the more intense parent. So
that's why they don't really get nothing on Father's Day, but a tie. Because we do all the work, y'all. We need to have 2 days for us because we didn't have them, we didn't delivered them, we didn't raise them, and you just gave your input. And then because I remember I can go tell my dad something, and I know it was like I played this game. I know my mama say no to this, so I'm gonna ask my dad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know my dad will say no to this, so I'm gonna ask my mom. Mm-hmm. So, and I know my mom get off. See, as kids, we knew the time. My mom got off at 5:00 from the police department. I said she get off at 5:00. If I can make it in that door by 4:30, I'm in. I'm in the door. Mm-hmm. And I played that game so much, but it's like mothers know that when something ain't right, they can feel it in their bones. And I remember my check kept finding my daughter when I found out she used to smoke cigarettes. Oh, okay. And my landlord, well, not the landlord, the guy downstairs, used to say, "Can you tell your daughter to stop throwing them cigarette butts out the window?" I was like, my daughter don't smoke. And I'm one of the mothers, and I don't know if every mother do this, but I'll clean your room up. Yeah. I'll do a thorough cleaning. Mm-hmm. And my kids used to hate that when I went through. And one day some said, look under the bed. I look under the bed, whole ashtray. Oh. Under the bed. I had the ashtray sitting there and the pack of cigarettes when she walked in the door. She couldn't do nothing but like, well, why? And we get defensive. Why are you in my room? Why are you in my room?
That's my private space.
And we the mothers, and we get beat up for all the stuff that we do what's right. So we deserve a Mother's Day. Yes. We deserve 2 Mother's Days, actually.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one day is not enough for everything and all the things that moms do and try to be for their children. But it's a special day, and of course, I don't think I'm going to be able to take my mom out on Sunday because I just think it's just going to be so crowded out.
That was my next question. Like, what are you doing for your mom on Mother's Day?
So we are definitely probably going to make some plans for later on. But I just like to go out with my mom. I like to hang out. She's still a fun lady. She's still a fun lady, fun to hang out with. My kids love her. That's she's their nana, and so we're definitely gonna find a way to take her out and just make her feel special. Yes.
That's cool. Well, we're in the same boat. My mom likes Cracker Barrels.
Okay.
And we took her there last year, and oh, okay. I have I'm trying to read what one of the guests said. He said kids always seem to run to parents that's less strict. And happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Raven. They I guess that's what it is. And I really believe that we've learned how to run to the ones that's less stricter than the one, because we feel the one that's less stricter is not going to be the one. They don't care. Yeah. Like my dad, long as he can come to work and go in the basement and drink his old style, he didn't care long as we didn't burn the house down, he was cool with it. Yeah. But I think like with dads, they more so, I work, I provide. The mother's job is to cook and raise you and make sure the house is good. I did my job. I'm going in the basement. I'm done. and there's dads that really get involved with it,
Oh, absolutely,
so,
yes.
I think fathers have their role and I think we're just more of that nourishing part,
Yeah.
when the hard parts come in, like, when they turn to women, men don't want to deal with that.
Mm-mm.
They want to send them to us because we know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I think as a mother, our roles are a little bit different
And I have
and I agree with
seen,
Raven
yeah,
that it's
absolutely.
different.
I've seen a lot. I've been a teacher for the past 21 years. And so I've seen how, the dynamic of family has changed. And I've actually, children that I taught are now parents. And
Ooh.
so, and so, yes, it's, parents are younger. And so people have different values. People don't value the same things, and a lot of younger parents give their children more choices than we ever had.
You get to choose what you want to wear, eat, and do. I have
Yeah,
never
where you want
seen.
to go, and yeah, so no, we didn't grow up with choices.
No, we didn't. My daughter yells at me all the time. I'll be like, she don't have no choice. She just gonna do what you say do. That's just it. Ain't no.
Mhm.
And she like, no, mom, she gotta have her own identity. She will when it's her time.
When it's time to, yeah.
Right now, she's a child,
Yeah.
a 7-year-old child that needs your input. So you need to input it. Well, I feel that, and I'm a mother, always been a mother, and I just feel some type of way when I see kids I don't mind kids, some parents put the weave in their hair to help grow their hair, to put the tension on there.
Mhm.
But some styles
Yeah.
are too grown for kids.
Mhm.
And as a mother and a down south mother, I just feel a way children should be state children.
Oh yeah.
And give them that opportunity to grow up and make decisions then.
Mhm.
And I know you see this all the time, being an educator and being in a school program, in a school district, and just
yeah, it's very interesting. Like I said, just watching the shift over the years, and it becomes more difficult. The longer you stay in education, it does become more difficult because you are a mother, and there are things that and there are things that you want to say, but at the same time, I can't tell the next person how to raise their children.
Not in the school anyway.
Right. And so, but within my four walls of my classroom, there are rules. There are consequences if you break the rules. And so that's sometimes where the conflict comes in. Luckily, I guess I've been teaching long enough to know that I have to build a relationship with the parent. A lot of people worry about the kids. I try to build a relationship from day one with the parent, letting them know where I'm coming from, letting them know my style. And so then, if the kid goes home and says something that doesn't kind of line up with what the parent knows about me, then I'll get that phone call. Well, Mrs. James, did so-and-so happen? They're saying XYZ happened. Can you tell me what really happened? So building a relationship with the parents is definitely my goal at the beginning of every school year. But yeah, there's definitely been a shift. There's definitely been a shift.
And I could imagine that one. So on that, we're gonna take a little break, and I just like to thank you guys for listening to IntellectualRadio.com, and I definitely want to thank Miss James as a mother, a teacher, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna hear her story again. Happy Mother's Day to all you lovely ladies, and we will return in a moment.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll go where you want me to go. I'll go where you want me to go, and I'll be. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll say what you want me to say. I'll say what you want me to say, and I'll see. Whatever you want me to do, Lord, I'll try to. I trust you to see me through. If there's no conjunction, no conjunction, no conjunction, no conjunction. If you want me to climb the highest mountain, I'm climbing. If you want me to swim the deepest sea, I'm diving. But if you want me to jump just tell me how high. And if you want me to stretch, just tell me how wide. No ifs and no buts. No ifs and no buts about it. I'll go where you want me to go. I'll be. No ifs and no buts about it. I'll say what you want me to say. I'll say what you want me to say. I'll see. Whatever you want me to do, Lord, I'll try to. I trust you to see me through. No ifs and no buts about it. No conjunction. Oh no conjunction. No. If you want me to sing, just choose the song I'm singing. If you want me to preach, just show me the text and I'm preaching. When you want me to wait, I'll stand still until you move me. When you call my name, I will answer so you can use me. But first I need you to hold me, and then mold me. Shake me, Lord. Shake me. Make me. Here I am, choose me. Use me in your service. Appoint me. Anoint me.
Good morning again, everyone that's just tuning in to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, Miss B, on Storytime. We have our special guest with me today, author Jada James, and the name of her book is Overcoming Obstacles. And we just got through talking about Mother's Day. And again, happy Mother's Day to you all. We're going to let Miss James tell us a little bit about her story, and we're going to get to know a little bit about her. She's an educator. She's the creator of Phenomenal Black Woman 2. It's spelled out smile, but it's S period M period I period L period E cricket letter I come back I. But we're gonna get into that, and we're gonna let her just tell us, how did Smile come about?
So, good morning, everyone. I am Jada Tennille James. I am an author, an educator, motivational speaker, and creator of Phenomenal Black Woman. Phenomenal Black Woman is where I teach women to smile. Smile stands for support, motivate, inspire, love, and encourage.
Just clap on that because I heard it the other day.
So, because I know what it feels like to be confused in life. I know what it feels like to be hurt by people. And I know what it feels like to walk into a room full of people and just feel like you're invisible. So, I am sort of on this mission to help women overcome obstacles and to just become the most phenomenal version of themselves that they can possibly be.
Now, when you say the obstacles, like you said, it's just the different things that we have to deal with in our life. And basically, whatever obstacles you had to face, like going into a room, being invisible, which dealing with hurt, dealing with rejection, dealing with abandonment. Those are obstacles that we have dealt with in our life. When my husband left me, the day he left me, that obstacle was so hard. I thought I would never get through that time. And believe it or not, it took me a year to overcome that obstacle. And I had a lot of motivating and inspiration and people calling me and motivating me, lifting me up, praying for me, because it was rough. It was really, really rough to go through that, because when I walked down that aisle, my thing in my mind, it was never to divorce my husband. It was to live life together.
Absolutely.
And live forever. When I took my vows, I took those vows for what they were. And to come home from work and my husband literally packed and moved out. And even through all the counseling and the stuff that we went through, you still walked away from a marriage that you told God that you were going to be in forever. And I could never, because I kept throwing scriptures out there, God put us together. Well, God joined together. No man should separate. And I was throwing that out there and out there. And more people said he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. I couldn't. I couldn't put that
Yeah.
in my mind, you know.
Mhm.
And that obstacle was so hard
Mhm.
that it took me going to the women's conference to begin to lift that weight
Mhm.
off of me. And as that weight began to come off of me, and I went away for my birthday, because you know, every year, if you don't know, I go away. This year
Okay.
I'm going to Aruba. Last year I went
Oh,
to Memphis.
okay.
And as I went and I enjoyed myself and I had a good time, I began to feel just the way I'm finding myself again.
Mhm.
And when I never forget, it was New Year's Eve, and I had just left church. I said, Lord, I'm not going to look for anyone to be with. You bring whoever you want me to be with. And until God brings that person into my life to say, this is who it is,
Mhm.
I'm kind of like laying low. You
Uh-huh.
know, I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, until God say this is it. Or, you know, and you'll know.
Absolutely, we will. Yeah.
So that was a year obstacle, because my thing was work and sleep, work, sleep, and cry, work, sleep, and cry. I did that for a
Mm.
year.
Mm.
A year. I will go to work and I will go. People be like, come on out. I'm like, I'm gonna come. I promise. I'm coming. I'm coming.
And
I
you
will
didn't
roll back up
come.
in the bed and I will
Mhm.
cry. And I will always say, God, why? And I couldn't even talk. If a year ago, if I even mentioned it, I would just bawl.
Mm.
I would just bawl. People had to take me out of work and take me in the back, and I
Mhm.
would just cry and cry and cry, and because I couldn't understand
Yeah.
why. And then the last day when I said, well, what are we doing? We going to counseling? We doing this? Are we saving our marriage? What are we doing? That brother said, no, I
Mm.
still stand on what I'm standing on. I said, okay, peace out. This is over. And that's the
Mhm.
day it ended.
Mm.
And so I can understand if you have something like that and you giving it to the world. And I heard you on Facebook Live, and I've heard your smile, and I heard, what is the biggest thing that women have that they feel that they do that they, well, let's see, that they can't overcome obstacles. I know some of the things, because I'm representing my book today, Invisible Tears. One of the biggest things that we have is pride.
Yes, indeed.
So what do you think about that lifestyle of pride when it come to
Mm.
women? You know, because we're never wrong. You know, we walk around like, and Invisible Tears came from, you'll see me now. But when I was
Mm.
at home, I was crying like a baby.
Yes.
In the tears.
I think that's kind of the platform I've taken with women, especially in Phenomenal Black Woman. Just getting women to realize that you are not by yourself. You are not the only person that's going through whatever you're going through. And they range. They're totally different. Women are struggling with weight. Women are struggling with self-esteem. They're struggling with being a single mom. The struggles are real and they're vast, but the biggest thing, like I was saying in my live this week, was that Phenomenal Black Woman, they see you Black when you walk in the room. They see you a woman when you walk in the room, but it's that phenomenal part that they have no idea about. So a lot of times some people say, well, you named it Phenomenal Black Woman. I'm white. Can I get in the group? Sure, absolutely. Don't let the name of the group intimidate you. Phenomenal Black Woman is me. But I think what happens is that we tend to look at each other so differently. I can look at you and say, oh, she wears her hair like that, or her glasses frames are like that. It doesn't matter how different we are, because I think at the core, we are all the same.
And
We
I
are all
think
the same, and we all have obstacles to overcome.
And I think we all have been through, like you said, we all dealt with our own obstacles, like you said, weight, and who we are as a me. I feel like, and I don't know if that's just because I've learned how to be happy who I am,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So when it comes to stuff like weight, and I know my heritage. I know my grandma was a hippie woman.
Right.
I know this is part of my lifestyle. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to do things to jeopardize myself.
Mm-hmm.
I know my family, we thick.
Right.
We some thick women. So you either going to like all of me, baby, or you going to take it all. Or
And
you
that
ain't gonna
comes
take it
from
all.
a place of acceptance, and not every woman is there yet.
Yes.
Not every woman has reached that point in her life where she can accept who she is, what she's gone through, and accept who it is that God is trying to create you to be.
And I think women have the hardest time. And when you said phenomenal Black woman, that goes back to the poem, phenomenal woman, that's me.
That's me.
That's me. That's who I am. Because what God gave you, I probably can't go through. What God gave me, you probably can't go through. See, you don't know my story until you read my story. Because the things I went through, you couldn't. I guarantee you, I look back on my story.
Right.
And I say, Lord, why am I not in a straitjacket? Because some of the things that I went through, I know there's women that cannot go through that. They could not uphold what I went through. So, and when it comes to obstacles, we feel I'm going to keep that to myself. A lot of women, we like to hold stuff. And I know when I first gave my life to Christ, I had so much damage in me. I had like rejection. I had hurt. I had, I knew that. And I used to have this wall. And then I'm short. Don't let the heels fool you. I'm really short. So I used to fight to protect myself because I felt like you coming at me too hard. You trying to think because I'm a little girl, I won't whoop you. You got me twisted.
Got something to prove.
I had something to prove that don't let the face fool you. Don't let the clothes fool you because I will come out. And I wasn't one of those women that fought fair.
Okay.
I wasn't never a fair fighter because you'll turn your back and I'll be coming down the stairs with something in my hand and knock you right clean upside your head and walk away and be like, you'll be all right, get up. But that came from that hurt that I had deep within me. So now I cry a lot because I be want to knock you out, but I feel I'm going to just cry it out and let God fight my battles because he said he going to fight my battles. So I'm just going to cry. And it's not that I'm offended. It's because I don't want to knock the H-E-double-L out of you right about now.
You're holding a lot back.
I'm holding a lot back right now. So that's why now when I get hurt, I kind of shun back. And I feel, let me put me in this safety zone because I need to get safe.
And I sense that in a lot of ladies, especially the ladies that are in my age group. I'm 42. I'll be 43 in October. And so it's like, I see it because a lot of women in that age range, they are trying to remove themselves from who they used to be. So a lot of women have come to a reality in that I can't act the way I used to act. I can't hang with the people I used to hang with. I can't go to those places I used to go because I'm getting older. And we realize that as we get older, we have to be some type of model for, if not for maybe a daughter we have or a niece we have, or, a younger cousin we have, if not for someone that we're raising or helping to raise, we have to be a model for the next woman that's out there.
And I think we don't want to be a model because if I see a woman, and I'm a type of woman, especially I'm a woman that I attach to people that's on the go.
Okay.
If I feel that you're on the go, I'm attaching to you. And that's the first thing that I ran of being an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to connect yourself to entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
You got to be like-minded, like the people that you hang with. So if you with people that's not going nowhere, guess where you going? Nowhere. So if you're saying that I'm dealing with a bunch of women that's dealing with hurt, rejection, abandonment, guess what? All y'all gonna do is feed off each other.
And it's gonna fester.
She hurt me. Yeah, he hit me. And then that's the kind of lifestyle. But when you're saying, you know what, I need to take myself to another level.
Yeah.
I need to hang out with more other entrepreneurs because I'm going that way. That's the lifestyle I want to live. I tell myself every day I'm gonna be rich and wealthy because God said when you speak those things as though they not, they gonna come as though they are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna speak it, even if God say, you know what, I couldn't even give you that type of wealth and rich, but I'm gonna give you a little taste of it. That's it. But that's enough for me.
But to walk in that authority, absolutely.
And I think a lot of women, it's not that you don't. I'm a type of person, doing this show, I want people to make it. I put this show together for women and entrepreneurs that's people don't know you out here.
Right.
This is for people to say, oh, wow, let me go read her book. Let me go check out her play. Let me go check out this person play. This is what this show is about. It's about entrepreneurs on the move. And when you can feel that if you could connect to somebody like yourself, join your Phenomenal Woman Smile Live, listen to what you have to give them because you might be connected, your story connect to somebody else's story. You're going to be able to help somebody else. That's why I would say my story is going to help somebody understand their story.
Yeah.
God has connected me with like 6 amazing women, and we're doing a project now. Remember, I can't share nothing, but we're
Okay.
doing a project now, and we're believing God to do a big thing with this thing. And I'm more excited about it than anything, and I can't wait for everybody to know about it. But we want everybody to know, if they wanted to be part of overcoming obstacles, what do they have to do to start being, or connect with you, or be part of Smile? Or
So most definitely, I encourage women, period, to join Phenomenal Black Woman. We are on Facebook. It is a group right now of over 36,000 members. We're almost at 37,000. I'm constantly on the Facebook. Is like a job now. I got to go in and I have to monitor the group and check the group and make everybody feel all good and warm inside. But I love it. Like I tell people all the time, what Phenomenal Black Woman has done for me is that it's totally changed my perception of women. It's totally changed how I interact with women. So, like you said, sometimes we as women, we have a guard up. We're not real big on speaking to strange women in stores and that type of thing, but it's just made me look at every woman that I see, and I do smile at her. I give her a physical smile, and then I try to give her the support, motivation, inspiration, love, and encouragement that she may need as well. So smile has a dual meaning, in that you can physically smile at a person and that could change their entire day. But then you give them that other smile that changes their life. So becoming a part of Phenomenal Black Woman on Facebook is definitely something that I encourage all women to do. Once you become a part of it, you're going to find yourself inspired every day, all day, because that's totally what it is. The group is almost 3 years old, and we have not had this. And you know how Facebook is. It's dramaful, right? It's social media. But we don't have that in our group. We don't have people going back and forth, and it just doesn't happen. I wish I could stand here and say I'm the Facebook police and I don't allow certain things, but it just doesn't happen.
And that's a good thing, because what you're doing, you're motivating other women to stand up and be strong in what they do, and that's an awesome thing. I'm definitely looking forward to you doing bigger things with it. You're already in the 3,000 RAM. 3,000 RAM. So, I'm kind of looking forward to that. What are your future plans for overcoming obstacle or Phenomenal Woman, either one?
Well, what Phenomenal Black Woman does do every year is that we host an annual event where we celebrate women.
I missed it.
You can't miss it this year.
I'm on it this year. I promise.
Hats and Sundresses is an awesome afternoon of women just being happy about being a woman. You're in the room with all these other amazing women. Like it can be a little breathtaking, and that's what I love about it. But the first year we did it, we had about 30 women come, and I was so excited. I was so happy to have those 30 some odd women in the room. And so then, of course, I said, well, this is annual, so we're gonna have it again. And so then the next year, I decided to honor some women. So we had some honorees, and we gave them a moment to stand up and kind of just be in the spotlight, because how often do we get to just be in the spotlight for being who we are and what it is that we do? So that last year we had over 100 women in the room, and it was phenomenal.
So that's hat and sundresses?
That's hats and sundresses.
So have you already had that, or is that coming?
The hats and sundresses event for this year, it'll be the 3rd annual, and it's the 4th Sunday in August. So that'll be August 25th. 2019.
Oh, girl, you pushing it. That's close to my vacation. I'm out here on the 28th. Like,
it's a lot of people that I'm pushing for me, because school usually starts around that time too. But that's when we did it. And I told my team that works with me, I said, you know what, we'll keep it the 4th Sunday. I said, and because God has anointed this event, it'll be something that you want. Like you said, I'm going to put it on my calendar.
Yes, I am.
It will be
going to put it
something
on there.
that women will start to put on their calendar, and ultimately it'll get to a point where they're saying, you know what, I got that event on the fourth
Yeah,
Sunday,
I'm gonna
so
put it. I'm gonna put that on my
Yeah.
calendar when I get home, actually, so I can make sure that I got that day open and I don't schedule it. Because now I do
Absolutely.
the. I'll go out to live events sometimes, and I'll do like a quick. Like I got one coming up.
Mhm.
She's opening a vegan
Oh, okay.
restaurant. It's called Daisy,
Oh, okay.
and they sell vegan food and stuff like that.
Okay.
So she's opening up. So she has the event coming up. So that's definitely going on my calendar because I want to be there.
Yes.
That we're gonna share with you guys can catch that. I'm when you're ready to put it out
Absolutely,
there.
yes.
I'm
It'll be
gonna
coming out
definitely
soon.
put that on my calendar. But when you give it to me, I'll definitely make sure that I'll share that on story time so we can make
Okay.
sure that we do come out and support. And I'm definitely gonna be there because I want to support because I'm definitely part of the Phenomenum group. I want all the women to be a part of the Phenomenum Black Women
Yes.
Smile.
Yes, yes, yes.
Any Black woman that you see that looks sad or look down,
Mhm.
just give them a smile because a smile does a lot.
It does a lot.
It's so funny you say that because when I go to work and if I come in and I just go into some mornings I try to come in and I'll try to read or get
Mhm.
my prayer in real quick. But if I don't walk down the aisles and do my good morning, everybody, they run to my desk like,
you okay?
You okay? Are you here? I didn't even know you was here because I didn't hear you say good morning today. I was like, I was coming to make my rounds.
People
But
look forward to
they
it.
look for when I'm on
Mhm.
vacation or if I'm gone or if I'm sick, they be like, I didn't see you today because that's I just me. I'm just one of them cheerful persons. I'm one of those things my kids used to say in the morning, like, do you have to be so cheerful in the morning? Can you just like go to
You
bed?
a morning person.
I'm sorry. I am definitely a morning person. I'll wake up singing music and just be on the go and be like, can you bring it down like just a little
Come
bit?
on, it's not 8 yet.
Yeah, and I'm like a 5:30, 6 o'clock morning person. So that's really bad for a lot of people, so and we just about out of time and I'm out and I just want to definitely really thank out to Kaden James. Well, we went off Facebook Live, but they can still hear us. We're still on the radio. That's just live. That's extra. But if y'all can see the book, I want you definitely to go. It's a 30-day devotional book.
Yeah. So the way it's set up is you're going to get every day you get a word, you get a Bible verse, you get a synopsis, and then I actually do a journal topic, and you got a page where you can journal. So it's actually becomes your formula for success. So you set yourself up if doubt is day one, and you figure out how you're going to deal with this doubt that you face every day, doubt for whatever reason, and you start to journal about that and you start to figure it out. Because when I did it myself, I wrote on my journal page that my doubt will become my determination.
Wow.
So now whenever I'm faced with any type of doubt for any type of situation, I got to use that has to become my drive now. So you telling me I can't do this? Wait a minute, let me show you how I can.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the book is awesome. I mean, it's really, really awesome. So where can they pick this up?
This is sold on Amazon. So you could definitely look it up on Amazon, Jada T. James, Overcoming Obstacles. You can message me on Messenger if you have Facebook or Messenger. I'm Jada Tennille James on Facebook as well. And I'm constantly trying to find events where I can promote the book and sell the book. So if anybody has any vendor events, it'll be at Hats and Sundresses. And by then, I hope to have Overcoming Obstacles Through Prayer and Overcoming Obstacles in Your Marriage released as well.
Wow. Well, I you should have had that book out about 2 years ago,
right.
sweetie.
A lot of people say, oh, well, you should have did
you
that.
You kind of late on that book, but I'll take it for my new husband.
Absolutely.
I'll take that for him. But,
that new marriage.
Because those are different. That's definitely obstacles, and I think women got to really understand their place as a wife.
Absolutely.
But that's another book for you, not for me. Not for me. I'm gonna leave that in the lane of the marriage folks because I don't understand those I understand
You
them.
do
I
understand them.
understand them, and God is definitely. I'm ready, Lord. Just bring him on. That's
Yep,
all I'm
he's
saying.
coming.
He coming. But again, we are definitely out of time, and I would like to thank my guest, Author Kata T. James. Just keep saying that T. And I want to thank you guys for joining us this morning. So please contact me. Or you can contact her to place your order on her Facebook page. You can message her. You purchase her book on Amazon. As she stated, it's Jada T. James, Overcoming Obstacles in Our Life, that we definitely have to do. And please do not forget to follow me on Facebook at Storytime Radio and like and share. Leave a comment or a question. Well, I will definitely answer your question, and I will definitely make it. If it's definitely something deal with one of the shows, I will definitely respond to it. So again, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Storytime with your host, Miss B, on IntellectualRadio.com. Have a safe and a prosperous weekend. Love you to the sky, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.